Hello children, welcome to EduSat English Daily Teaching Program. My dear students, today we will be discussing one of the most important things for you. So, you know your examination is getting nearer and you are all preparing for the examination for scoring better. So, today we will be discussing the test taking skills for annual HSC examination 2025. So, test taking skills, I mean how we can sit for the examination, how we can take the examination and how we can write good English, better answers to the questions, and we can obtain very good marks in our examination. So, let us see what are the test taking skills, right, and how we can prepare ourselves. So, you just see this is the examination program which has been notified by the Board of Secondary Education Odisha, right. And as you know, your examination is it starts on 21st February 2025 and it will end on 6th March 2025. So, the examination is very near, it is getting nearer and nearer. That is why you have to prepare yourself, right, and you also know that your English subject will be on 24th February, right. So, you just see 24th February, that is Monday, and the time is from 9 to 11:30 a.m. So, my dear students, examination is close to you, and today we will be discussing most important things which are related to your textbooks, which are also related to your health, your mind, etc. right. So, you just see the examination that begins you see 21st February 2025 and the time is 9 to 11:30 and the first language is on the first day and the second language English is on 24th February 2025. You just see these are some common things we have to take care of, some important things for preparation, right. These are some common things for English, for for mother tongue Odia, for science, mathematics, every subjects. So, the first thing is take care of your health. You should take care of your food, you should take care of sleep, everything. So, take food carefully as much as required, and also do not go for rich and outside food for these 2 months. This is very important for you, and utilize your time properly. Do not kill your time, do not waste your time. Each and every moment is very precious for you, and you should prepare your timetable for your own preparation. See, when should you get up, when should you start reading, and when should you go to bed, and what are the subjects you should read every day, and how you can have a better practice every day, right. Read all the text or topics carefully. So, I am talking about English, second language English, right. This session will be on English answers, how to write answers to the questions of second language English, right. So, read all the texts or topics carefully. So, my dear students, most of the time our learners, they read only reference books, keys, guides, etc. But I advise you, you please read all the topics thoroughly, very carefully, twice, thrice, many times, so that you can answer all the multiple choice type of questions and everything will come to your mind at the time of taking your examination, right. And then make short notes in visual form. So, when you are reading in visual form, means in diagrams, in tables, put all the ideas, so that very briefly you put all the ideas, so that at any moment, even just before the examination, you can have a look at it and you can remember, you can recall all these things. Sabu jinsa mane padijibo. Note kariki pura puri padhila bele pratiti bishay when you read, you note the important points, and I will also show you how you can make notes for each and every topic in English. for the prose text, for the poems, for the stories, non-detailed text, all these things, and then practice with the previous questions. So, you can get previous questions of Board of Secondary Education Odisha of the previous years, and you can collect these questions, and you can also have a better practice, right, and then repeat the questions, so which you feel difficult. Suppose at the time of practicing, at the time of writing answers to the questions of the Board of Secondary Education previous examinations, suppose you feel that this question is very difficult, then you repeat it and read the textbook, try to answer. If not possible, you can take the help of your teacher also, and finally, you just see, take care of your handwriting. Handwriting plays a vital role. Sometimes impression is created in the mind of the examiner at the time of evaluating your paper. He can say, oh, very good handwriting, definitely, certainly this student is a good student, right. So, my dear students, you please take care of your handwriting. You can write from the margin. If you have no margin, then you can also draw a margin line, right, and write everything. You can write also the key points in big letters, you can go for others in small letters like this. Small letters, big letters means I am not talking about capital letters or small letters. Shape of the letters may be bigger, the shape of the letters of the main ideas may be bigger. You can write bigger size of letters for main ideas, right, and your get up, your writing, your handwriting, that will also indicate and that will also impress the examiner to obtain good marks, right. So, my dear students, these are some common things. Again I repeat, right. Take care of your health, for food, sleep and everything. Utilize your time properly, prepare your timetable for English and other subjects also, and read all the English texts, topics which are given in the textbook, and make short notes in tabular form, in diagrams like that, so that it will be easier for you to remember all these things. And also practice, make a practice of the previous questions and repeat the questions, and try to take the help of, take the support of your teachers if you feel difficult, and please take care of your get up of the writing, the beauty of your writing, the beauty of each every page, and handwriting should be very nice, very attractive, right. Just you see your syllabus, English syllabus, you know also, and I think your teacher has given you information about this. So, you have internal assessments, term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, 4 terms, and you see you have 4 prose texts. So, 2 texts like you can see, right. So, I am talking about prose, a letter to God at the school, right. So, 2 texts, term 1, then festivals of Northeast India, term 2, and then again air pollution, a hidden menace, that is term 3, and the last one is school's goodbye. So, we have 5 prose texts, 5 poems and 4 non-detailed texts and 10 grammar items. All these things have been given here. Today, we will be discussing how we can write better answer to the questions, long type questions or subjective type of questions which carry 5 marks each, right. So, this is the distribution of marks. You see, I am just going to say something about the distribution of marks. This is very important. All of you should know about this distribution of marks. You see, so we have 2 papers, right. So, we have paper 1 MCQ questions and we have paper 2 subjective paper. So, out of 100, we have to write 50 MCQ write answers for 50 MCQ questions for paper 1 and 5 questions answers to 5 questions in paper 2. पिले तुम सब जानी थिबो, सार भी कही थिबे जे प्रति विषय, स्पेशली आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट इंग्लिश, मु इंग्लिश कथा कहूची, जे इंग्राजी रे 100 मार्क रो बोर्ड रे परीक्षा हो 100 मार्क रो तुम्हें माने जेतिक मार्क रहिबो सेटा 80 रो हिसाब करा जिवो सो you will be examined for 100 marks with two papers, paper 1 multiple choice 50 marks, paper 2 subjective answers 50 marks. And out of 100 marks, suppose you score 80 or 90, then that will be calculated how much you score out of 80. 100 ରୁ ଯେତିକି ରଖିବ ସେ ଅନୁସାରେ 80 ରୁ କେତେ ରଖିଲ ହିସାବ କରାଯିବ ଏବଂ ପରୀକ୍ଷାରେ ଯେଉଁ ଟର୍ମ ଏକ୍ଜାମିନେସନ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଦି ଆସ୍ପିରେସନାଲ୍ କମ୍ପୋନେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ଯେତେ ସବୁ ଅଛି ତୁମର ତାକୁ ମିଶାଇକି ସେମାନେ ଦି ସ୍କୁଲ ୱିଲ୍ ସେଣ୍ଡ ଟୁ ଦ ବୋର୍ଡ଼ ଅଫ୍ ସେକେଣ୍ଡାରୀ ଏଜୁକେସନ୍ ୟୋର୍ ସ୍କୋର୍ ଆଉଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ 20 20 ମାର୍କରୁ ତୁମେ କେତେ ରଖିଲ ସେଇଟା ସ୍କୁଲ ଦେବ ଏବଂ ଏଇ ବୋର୍ଡ଼ ପରୀକ୍ଷାରେ 100 ମାର୍କରୁ ଯେତିକି ରଖିଥିବ 80ରୁ କେତେ ରଖିଲ ତାପରେ ହିସାବ କରାଯିବ ଏଥିରୁ 80ରୁ କେତେ ସେଥିରୁ 20ରୁ କେତେ ଏବଂ ୟୋର୍ ଟୋଟାଲ୍ mark will be calculated on 80 plus 20, right. So, let us see how these marks in English have been distributed. So, 50 multiple choice questions, right. You see 50 questions, right, and 50 marks paper 1 and for 1 hour, right. Then paper 2 you have 5 questions, you just see question number 1, question number 2, 5 questions, question number 3, question number 4 and question number 5. सबुठारु मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग जे पेपर 2 रे सब्जेक्टिव पेपर रे 50 मार्क परीक्षा हम 5टी नंबर पड़ो प्रति नंबर रे 10 मार्क्स. So, let us come to question number 1. Question number 1 we have prose question, 2 questions, out of 2 questions you will have to answer 1 question. दुईटा प्रश्न prose रु पड़ो एवं से गोटे उत्तर देवाक पड़ो एवं मार्क होची 5 मार्क, राइट. एंड यूजुअली प्रोजटा केमती पड़ो कौन हम we will discuss in the next session, right. And then come to poetry, poems. We have 5 poems and for poetry you will also get 2 questions and you will have to answer 1 question, you see 1 question in prose and 1 question in poetry and 5 marks, right. So, number 1 5 questions for prose and for poetry 5 questions. This is number 1 question. 1 number question रे दुईटा अल्टरनेटिव प्रोज रु पड़ो, दुईटा अल्टरनेटिव पोएम रु पड़ो, प्रोज रु गोटे करिवो एवं पोएम रु गोटे करिवो 5 मार्क 10 मार्क होची नंबर 1, right. And now you come to number 2 question, right. Number 2 you see this is number 1, this is number 2 and in number 2, right, you can get 2 questions which carry 2.5 marks. 2.5 मार्क लेखे रहिबो 2.5 जोड़िए प्रोज रु पड़ो गोटे 2.5 प्रोज रु जोड़िए क्वेश्चन तुमको गोटे उत्तर देवाक पड़ो, पोएम रु सेमती 2टी प्रश्न गोटे उत्तर देवाक पड़ो एवं 2टी जाक मिसेकी प्रोज पोएम है 5 मार्क, राइट. एंड रिपोर्ट एथिरे 3टा बिट क्वेश्चन पड़ो 2 नंबर रे आई, राइट. सो फॉर आई 2.5 from 2 questions you have to answer 1 question. For II you have to face 2 questions from poem and you will write for 2.5 marks. And again III report writing or summary writing, either you can write a report or you can write a summary from a paragraph. गोटे paragraph पढ़िथिबो ताकू report लिखिबो नर गोटे paragraph पढ़िथिबो passage पढ़िथिबो ताकू तुमे summary करिवो. So either summary or report and that carries 5 marks. So, number 2 2.5 2.5 5 and that is 10. So, number 2 10, number 1 10, right. Then we will go to number 3. So, my dear students, now you see number 3 question, right. So, this is number 3 question and number 3 question you just see essay writing in about 200 words with 3 alternatives and you will have to answer 1, for 10 marks, right. So, you are supposed to face 3 questions for essay writing, and out of 3 questions you are to select one, and essay carries 10 marks, right. ମୁଁ ତୁମକୁ ଗୋଟିଏ ପିଲେ ଏଠି କହିଦେଉଛି ଏସେ ପାଇଁ ଆମର ପ୍ରୋଜ୍ ପାଇଁ ପୋଏମ୍ ପାଇଁ 2.5 ମାର୍କ କେମିତି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଲେଖିବ, ଏସେ କେମିତି ଲେଖିବ, ଲେଟର୍ କେମିତି ଲେଖିବ, ଆମର ସବୁ ସ୍ପେଶାଲ କ୍ଲାସ୍ will be held and we will be discussing all these things very clearly and separately. आमे सबु विषय पे गोटे गोटे क्लास अच्छे आमर से भली एजुसाट प्रोग्राम रे तुमे माने सबु प्रोज केमती लिखिया को हबो 5 मार्किया प्रश्न, पोएम 5 मार्किया प्रश्न केमती लिखिया को हबो, कौन कौन पॉसिबल क्वेश्चंस हे पारे एवं तुमको 2.5 मार्क रो क्वेश्चन जो 2.5 क्वेश्चन अछि प्रोज रे केमती लिखिया को हबो, पोएम रे केमती हबो, पॉसिबल को क्वेश्चन पड़ी पारे, एंड आल्सो essay केमती लिखिया को हबो, रिपोर्ट राइटिंग केमती लिखिया को हबो. We have separate classes, right, and definitely you will enjoy the classes, and I request all of you please to watch Doordarshan at the time of telecasting, right. You should go for the program and you should all watch these very important things, right. So, now you come to number 3. So, 3 essays means one usually the question section, usually I cannot say exactly, but साधारण भावे जो माने प्रश्न तैयारी करते से माने 3 प्रकार रचना पकाती, गोटे हूँ नैरेटिव, गोटे हूँ डेस्क्रिप्टिव, गोटे नैरेटिव, गोटे हूँ इश्यू बेस्ड एक्सपोजिटरी और रिफ्लेक्सिव आम कहूँ. नैरेटिव मीन्स अतीत कथा कौन गोटे घटनाटे बा गोटे दुर्घटना जमती कि आम एनुअल फंक्शन, स्पोर्ट्स डे के cricket match, excursion, all these things, picnic, these are all narrative. My father, my brother, my grandfather, my physical education teacher, right, my village, my school, these are descriptive type of essays. And you can see Sambad Patra, summer season, newspaper, flood, natural calamities, television, these are reflexive type or expositive type of writing, right. So, ए 3 प्रकार essay रु तुम गोटे पाइबो. You select whether I will go for writing the narrative or I should write my type essay, the descriptive type essay or expository type of essay, right. So, you select you see how you are comfortable. 3टा पढ़ी मते कोटा भल लागुची, मु कोटा को भल अटेंड कले भल मार्क भी रखी पारिबी. This is up to you, and in essay class also you can get a lot of information. Now, you come to number 4, letter writing or application writing, right, 5 marks, and unseen passage 5 marks. So, my dear students, you see number 4 has been divided in 2 parts, I and II, and in I you can write either a letter, a formal letter or an informal letter. Formal means application, official letter to the headmaster, to the BDO, to the collector or to the minister, and informal letter means to the nearers and dearers like father, mother, sister, brother, friends, like this, right. Then we either or. So, you can go for writing an application or official letter, or you can select the informal letter, the letter to your father, mother, friend, like that, right. And II, this is unseen passage, not from your book, from outside a passage, and you can get 5 questions. Each question carries 1 mark, then 5 marks, 5 marks, then number 4 10 marks, right. And the last question number 5 you see translation. So, you will be given, you are supposed to face 2 types of translation. One is one passage having 5 sentences or 6 sentences, usually 5 sentences, and another dialogue, right, and the dialogue also that also contains usually 5 sentences or 6 sentences, very small sentence, where there are the sentences are very small, you can get also 2 small sentences. 5ଟି ବାକ୍ୟ, ପ୍ରତିଟି ବାକ୍ୟ ପାଇଁ 2 marks. You have to select either the context in a passage or the dialogue. दुईटा भितर गोटे तुमको सिलेक्ट करिया पड़िबो एवं से दुईटा भितर तुमको लिखिया पड़िबो. Once again I repeat, you have 100 marks, 2 papers, paper 150 marks, paper 250 marks. paper 2 is objective MCQ, and 50 multiple choice you know, and you have also taken your annual examination and other examinations, right. And paper 2 have you can face 5 questions. Question number 1, 2 questions from prose alternative questions, 1 to write and 5 marks, 2 from poem you have to write 1 and 5, so 10. Then come to number 3, number 2 question. Number 2 you have 3 questions, 1 question from prose for 2.5 marks, 20-30 टी शब्द लिखा पड़ो 2-3 सेंटेंस रे, एंड पोएम रे मध्य सेमती 2.5 यू हैव टू राइट फॉर 2.5 अढ़ी अढ़ी मार्क 5 मार्क, एवं गोटे रिपोर्ट राइटिंग आउ समरी राइटिंग दुईटा पैसेज पड़ो, गोटे रिपोर्ट राइटिंग और समरी राइटिंग, दिस इज ऑल्सो कंपल्सरी, यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट आइदर राइटिंग ए रिपोर्ट और राइटिंग ए समरी for 5 marks, and this is how question number 2 has 3 questions and 10 marks, right. Question 4, then question 3, you have to select one essay out of 3 types of essays, एका पढ़िया पड़ो ना, यूजुअली पढ़े ना, राइट. साधारणतः जे प्रश्न तैयारी करते डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ पकाती, डिफरेंट टाइप्स इन द सेंस नैरेटिव गोटे, डेस्क्रिप्टिव गोटे, अन्य प्रकार गोटे, तुमको तीनोटी जाक टाइप रु यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट 1 फॉर 10 मार्क्स. एंड देन नंबर 5, 5 नंबर दुईटा प्रश्न, दुईटा बिट प्रश्न, गोटे हूँ 5 मार्क गोटे लेटर, लेटरटा 2 प्रकार पड़ो, गोटे हूँ फॉर्मल गोटे इनफॉर्मल, वन इज फॉर्मल लेटर एंड इज इनफॉर्मल. यू आर टू सिलेक्ट आइदर एप्लिकेशन और फॉर्मल लेटर, और यू कैन राइट ऑल्सो इनफॉर्मल लेटर टू योर रिलेटिव्स, राइट. एंड द लास्ट क्वेश्चन, question number 2, that is a passage for 5 questions, and you have to answer 5 questions, all the questions which carry 5 marks, that means each question carries 1 mark, right. And then translation, 2 types of translations, one is a passage, another is a dialogue, right. Today we will be in the next session we will start from prose, and I am just going to say something about prose, right. So as you know, we have 50 questions from paper 1. आमर पिले पेपर 1 रे 50टा मल्टीपल चॉइस अच्छी, आमर प्रोज होची 5टा, पोएम 5टा, नॉन डिटेल 4टा, ग्रामर रही 10टा चैप्टर. तेणु साधारणतः प्रोज पोएट्री प्रति चैप्टर 2टी लेखे प्रश्न पड़े नॉन डिटेल रु. सो 5 + 5 + 4 दैट मीन्स 14टा होची, 14 × 2 = 28, आउ 2 मार्कर साधारणतः नॉन डिटेल रु जोटा कि सम माने मेसेज नहीं कि पड़ी थाए. तेणु आमर प्रोज पोएम नॉन डिटेल 10 × 30 मार्क पड़े, ग्रामर 10 मार्क्स, एंड आउ 10 मार्क होची वोकाबुलरी 5 मार्क्स, वोकाबुलरी फ्रॉम द प्रोज टेक्स्ट एंड लैंग्वेज वर्क 5 marks, right. You see how you can get questions from prose. We have you see we have 5 prose texts, so you can get 10 questions, that means from each text, each topic you can get 2 questions, right. So we have a topic, a letter to God, Gandhi at the high school, the festivals of Northeast India, and air pollution menace, schools goodbye. So multiple choice you can get 2 questions. Then you can get 1 question for 5 marks, short type question, and which requires 50 marks, right. Usually the question setters, what they do, from first 2 terms they select 1, and from the next 2 terms they select 1, and you can get 2 alternative questions, and you have to select 1 out of these 2. So first 2 terms means, you see first term you know, a letter to God, Gandhi at the high school, first term, term 1, term 2 the festivals, term 3 air pollution, term 4 school. Usually from these 3 topics you can get 1 question for 5 marks, and from these 2 questions you can get 1 question. So out of these 2 questions you can select 1 question, right. So you can select 1 question for 5 marks, and exactly you can get also 2 questions for 2.5, and you have to select 1, and then 5 vocabulary questions and 5 grammar or language use questions from the prose text. This is how you can get 10 plus 5 plus 2.5 plus 10, that means 27.5 questions from the 5 prose texts, right. So, thank you children. I think now you get some ideas about the how to take your examination and the distribution of marks for different types of subjects or sections, and accordingly you have to prepare yourself for the coming examination. Thank you very much.